herzlich willkommen hier auf der Cosplay Stage. Ich bin die Anja von Nerdizismus. Ihr kennt unseren Podcast ja vielleicht. Falls ihr den noch nicht kennt, da liegen überall Flyer von uns. Nehmt euch einen mit und hört mal bei uns rein. Ja, dann möchte ich schon unsere 3 wunderschönen Cosplayerinnen begrüßen. Das ist einmal die Lichi. Dann haben wir die Lily Fortune und Starbit. So, und weil unsere liebe Starbit Cosplay aus Norwegen angereist ist und sie in Deutsch jetzt noch nicht so gut bewandert ist, werden wir auch ein bisschen auf Englisch reden heute. Ich glaube, wir switchen immer so ein bisschen hin und her, wie sich das Gespräch halt gerade so ergibt. So I just told them that we will talk in English as well. So you can understand everything.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah, I know.
That's how we are.
Yeah. But I also said that maybe it depends on the question that we switch a little German, English.
Fine by me.
Okay.
Nod and smile, it's fine.
Perfect. So, as always, when I'm doing my cosplay podcast, I invite I invite a cosplayer to have a podcast with me, and my first question is always, how is your nerd factor? So, how much are you a nerd on a scale from 1 to 10? So maybe you will answer the question first.
Okay, I feel like I am very nerdy. I freak out a lot about the characters I cosplay. Like my friend Cara Cosplay over there, she says I'm one of the nerdiest people she knows. So I believe that. I cry a lot about Game of Thrones, about Star Wars, so I think I'm a 10, pretty sure.
A 10, really? Okay.
I think I am. I think I can testify to that.
Yesterday we had our nerd quiz here on stage, and our participants, they were asked the same question, and they both said we are 1. I couldn't understand because they want to low everything, so they maybe when they have the wrong answer that they can say, okay, we're just a 1.
Okay, I'm a 5.
But I won't ask you a nerdy question today, so.
Okay, good. Okay, then I'm a 10. I'm a 10.
Okay, so what about you?
To be honest, I'm not that into comics. I read a few and also read a few manga and such. I watch a lot of real series, like TV series, and I'm extremely passionate about the series I love, or like Disney or characters I cosplay, so I'd say a 5 maybe. Okay. I'm not that, I don't have so much self-esteem that I can say I'm a 10. So I go with a 5.
Okay. So
smart.
So what about you, Lily?
I gotta go with Starbit, definitely 10.
Okay,
Yeah.
and how can you prove that?
Thank you. Not good to have you. Well, yeah, I think my nerd level is pretty high because I like a lot of comics, I like gaming, I'm a gamer girl. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I mean, everything nerdy. I got a pretty impressive collection of nerd shirts though, and I'm still collecting because I like them. And I got 3 new ones yesterday, so I'm pretty positive that it's getting more and more over time. And yeah, people tend to tell me that when they come to my apartment for the very first time, I look around and they go like, this could actually be the room where a 10-year-old boy live in. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, I can agree to that. So maybe you're curious what my nerd factor is.
Yeah.
I will tell you, it might be a 7. I think when I started to do the podcast with Nerdizismus, I actually said 7, I guess. Yeah, but I'm a huge nerd too, so I love Star Wars and a lot of TV shows. I'm not that into comics. I try. I'm always looking for a comic to buy, but then I see, okay, when you buy the first one, you have to buy the 20 following. So it's always like, okay, can I afford that? But when you come into our apartment, the first thing you see is a Star Wars figure, and it's man tall.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can I come around one time?
Yeah, you can visit us.
Yeah.
Come to Düsseldorf.
Be afraid of the fact that I might steal that figure, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just so you know.
I do have lots of Doctor Who merchandise, like a curtain, shower for the shower curtain.
Yeah.
It's Doctor Who, and lots of weird stuff. So I might go a bit higher and say 6 or 7.
Okay. So now you're all sitting here in beautiful cosplays, and yeah.
Thank you.
And Stabit, I know what your cosplay is, but maybe the audience has no clue, so maybe you can explain.
It's from a small TV show. You might have never heard of it. It's called Game of Thrones. You all should watch it. I'm cosplaying Daenerys Targaryen. She's like the best. She's the queen.
I guess she's the mother of dragons,
She's
isn't
the mother
she?
of dragons. She's the unburned. She's the Valyrian blood. Like all, I can't even do the whole thing. It's too long. So yeah, I am Daenerys Targaryen of Stormborn.
And what was your first cosplay, and when did you start, actually?
I started properly in 2011, and I think it was Ariel. It was a very, very quick cosplay, but I started sewing in 2012, and it was actually Daenerys and this outfit, but I remade it later. But so it was Daenerys and Ariel, like split in two, I would say.
And maybe you can tell us something about cosplaying in Norway. Is it very popular, or is it a small community?
Well, it's growing bigger every year. It's not as big as the German one, and you guys say that this is a pretty small con, I've heard. Yeah,
Well,
This is pretty big,
okay,
actually.
that's big. Okay, thank God.
I don't know who told you.
Someone lied to me. That's not what I know. So it's pretty small, but it's growing bigger every year. We're not that many cosplayers, and I feel like everyone knows each other because we're just 5 million in the entire country. So there's like 10 cosplayers.
Okay, and I always have the feeling that in our cosplay community we know each other very well, because we have these groups on Facebook, and everyone is helping each other. I have always the feeling that there's a lot of hate too, but we can talk about that later maybe. And when you started cosplaying, how did you get there? I mean, where did you first see cosplay? So
I feel like it's very boring. I was on DeviantArt way back, and I saw photos of Harry Potter cosplayers, and was like, holy shit, people dressed up as the characters. That's amazing. I want to do that. So I just went on eBay, I bought some wigs, and I used clothes from my closet and just took some photos.
okay.
It was not a very interesting story, but it's how it happened through the internet. My life.
But that's a very different experience to mine, because when I saw cosplay first time, it was always manga and anime, because I'm from Düsseldorf and we have the largest Japanese community in Germany, and so there are a lot of Japanese stores and Japanese stuff and a lot of manga and anime fans, and there's every year the Japan Day, and a lot of people coming to town, and they're dressed as they are cosplaying manga and anime characters. So that was my first experience, and I was like, okay, I'm not that into that. And then I saw on ComicCon, oh, people do that in different ways, like comics and TV shows. So that was amazing. So what were your first experience with cosplay?
So how I got into cosplay?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I was always I was always into anime because I watched a lot when I was a kid. So I got home and sat in front of the TV and watched all the anime series that were on TV then.
So maybe that's very German.
Yeah,
to have it,
everyone watched it back then, I
starts with
think.
anime.
Yeah, Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and everything. The whole thing. I watched everything, and then my best friend told me about manga, that there's like anime in comic book form, and I started to read manga. And she also told me about that cosplay exists and that conventions exist. Like there are so many people like us who love the same thing and also dress up as their favorite characters. And I was always into dressing up for carnival. Do you say carnival? Yeah, and always love to put on my mother's dresses, and so do lots of makeup stuff with my mom's makeup. And so I was so excited about trying cosplay for the first time that I was so into it and went to the first convention and did so my first cosplay without any clue what I'm doing, but this is how I started 11 years ago.
Yeah, so you're a long time in the community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cosplay grandma.
Yeah. Maybe we can call you that.
Yeah, just call me cosplay grandma.
Okay, Lily, same question.
Well, I think my very first cosplay, if you can call that a cosplay, I'm not sure, was Sailor Moon, and I was 10 years old.
So again, it's anime.
Yeah, I watched the series on TV and I was in love with it. And so I told my mom I really want to be Sailor Moon for Carnival, and she was like, oh, fuck. Because that was back in a time when you could not buy a wig or do anything like that. And she was like, how the F am I going to do that for her? She did great. I was super happy. It looked like crap. I still have some pictures of that. It looked terrible, but I was super happy because I was Sailor Moon. And yeah, she did her best to come up with a cool cosplay. With the wig thing, that was pretty funny because my hair was blonde back at that time, but not long enough. So we had a problem to get the hair that long, as Sailor Moon has it. And she had no idea how to do it, so she went to a shop where she could buy stuff for crafting and, you know, for a hobby line. And she got some crepe paper. And she tapped it all around my hair and get down. I have it along and it looked terrible, but it was amazing for me back then.
Well, that's nice. But isn't that the essence of cosplaying? To do something with everything you can get somewhere? Because we all started somewhere, and a few years ago there wasn't something like Warbler, or we had no clue about foam smithing. So maybe that's, yeah, your mother was very intuitive.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's when you come to the point, to the hard point of cosplay, that's exactly it. Back in that time when you did not have all those materials and you didn't have that chances to do that stuff. I mean, I saw it when it was the point where my love for masquerade was born. And a few years later, I got in contact with the US American Halloween scene, and I was super impressed by it. Impressed by the horror, by the makeup, by what those people made to dress up. And that really got me. And I've been doing Halloween and horror stuff for almost 15 years now. Compared to cosplay, what I'm doing for about 5 to 6 years now. So I had a lot of experience with that before. And it was the same thing back then, because when I realized, okay, what you want to do as a Halloween costume, or what you want to do to tribute to horror characters, is just not possible with the stuff you can get in a shop, not possible with the things you can buy. So you got to be creative. You got to come up with something. You got to be, you know, get stuff in your mind and try to make it somehow from whatever. And I don't know, maybe you've seen that picture of my headless Marie Antoinette.
Not yet.
No, I think it's 5-6 years back in that time, I did a headless Marie Antoinette for Halloween. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing is made of duct tape and cardboard.
Okay, maybe you will have a presentation later,
yeah,
about horror makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe you show us something there. So if you're curious, stay here after our talk. And
I'd love to see you guys, if you're interested. If you're not, it's okay.
By the way, also wenn ihr irgendwie Fragen habt oder so, dann könnt ihr natürlich euch melden oder reinrufen oder was auch immer. Ne? Ihr dürft gerne Fragen stellen. Yeah, and my next question will be, what will my, yeah, I'm out of it now.
What are you?
I don't know, I'm lost. Yeah, I'm here again. So you are a Disney character today.
Yes.
So what are your favorite characters? So
in Disney or in general?
In general. What are you cosplaying? Like from which
okay.
universes?
So
mostly.
I think it's Disney. I feel most comfortable as Disney characters because I'm a very happy person, I'd say, and I can smile the whole day when I'm dressed up as Disney characters. For example, yesterday I was dressed up as Android 18 from Dragon Ball Z, and I had to look very serious and cool, and it was kind of hard for me because I just like to be dorky and derpy the whole time, and I can be that as a Disney character, and I can, just smile the whole time, take pictures with children, and that's actually where I'm most comfortable with. So, yeah.
Okay, and Starbridge, you already told us you're a Game of Thrones fan, so and Disney as well.
Yeah, I like cosplaying Disney, but I don't feel like I'm as smiley as you. You're like just a glowing ball of light and happiness. I like cosplaying from movies like Katniss from The Hunger Games, Daenerys, and like the heroine character, the badass heroines, even though I'm not really one in real life. Maybe I like just pretending that I am, and through cosplay
But
I
since
can do
now
that.
Wonder Woman is on the
Yes.
cinema, we all know we are all Wonder Woman.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm gonna cosplay her too, so.
You too.
Good.
Every woman.
You too.
You too.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Also the man.
And I asked you yesterday about your Wonder Woman. You did that makeup and the tiara, and you plan to make the whole costume, right?
I do. I'm very scared, but I'm also very excited to do it because watching that movie and seeing that character on the screen made me very, very happy. I cried from start to finish, seeing all these badass women being badass, and so it's a cosplay I need to do.
Okay, but maybe you all agree we have seen badass women on screen since a few years. So maybe you think about Ripley from Alien or Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So, but I don't see cosplaying people these characters. I haven't seen a Buffy yet.
But
Did you?
it's kind of different because Buffy was such a much smaller character, and Wonder Woman represents something so much bigger.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Also, I think it's not easy to do the cosplay because you don't easily recognize the character. You have more fun creating the whole cosplay of Wonder Woman, I think.
Yeah.
That's a big part. So a badass woman with a great costume is...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But yesterday, maybe you saw her too. There was a great Brienne of Tarth. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
a very tall woman, and she was on the cosplay contest.
I saw her
Yeah.
during the cosplay contest.
That was really amazing.
Her.
I've seen her.
Yeah, another topic. Maybe you are on YouTube. Maybe who of you is on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what are you doing there?
I make some tutorials. I have made some parodies in the past. I
Okay.
have a Hunger Games and Catching Fire parody, and yeah, lots of variable stuff and vlogs, convention vlogs. There will be a vlog from this con as well.
Oh, okay. I will check that out. So, what other social media channels are you using, and what do you think about them when cosplay using that?
Well, I'm using pretty much everything, I feel like. Facebook, Twitter, well, not Twitter as much, Instagram, Tumblr, Patreon. I'm pretty much on everything. I'm a big fan of social media because I'm really bad at being social in real life. So I just go through the internet instead.
Okay, what about you?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, on Instagram, and Twitter, and YouTube, so the whole package. But I have to say that I like Instagram best.
Me
bec-
too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We are very
it's the
visual,
best
right?
way t- also,
Yeah.
It's also the best way to interact with people. People are very communicative, send me lots of messages, and it's best way for me to interact with people.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Instagram a lot because I see what I want to see.
Yeah,
And
because of the hashtags.
yeah, right. That's really good. You mentioned Patreon lately. Sorry, Lily. You haven't answered the question yet.
No problem.
Sorry.
That's okay. Just feel free. Yeah, I'm using Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Twitter not that often because I still do not get the concept of it. Maybe one day when I get the concept of it, I will use it more often. Yeah, I'm also a big fan of Instagram. I even like it better than Facebook because, as I just said, it's super visual and you get to see what you want to see.
Well,
thanks to the hashtag.
Instagram is a Twitter for people who can't read.
So to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very easy.
I prefer it. It's a lot
Yeah.
of cool, colorful pictures and
Yeah.
yeah,
It's much more fun, I guess.
definitely.
But I think YouTube is, I don't do a lot of YouTube videos, but I like YouTube because you get to know the person better through these
That's
videos.
right,
So
yeah.
that's why I watch a lot of your videos, and I was like, oh, she's so cool. So I think that's a good way to show people how you actually are, because if they only see the pictures on Instagram, they don't really get to see the real you.
Yeah, that's true. So, back to my Patreon question. So, you're on Patreon, so what are you doing there?
On Patreon, I make exclusive tutorials on how I do my makeup, how I edit my photos, because my work as a photographer is also very not as known as my cosplays, but it's one of the things that made me successful, my photography. So I do a lot on how I edit my photos and just how I do everything, basically.
Okay, so I think a lot of people, maybe here in Germany, they think that Patreon is just like, okay, they sell nudes there, but actually they don't. So I think Patreon is a chance for people to sell their knowledge and stuff. And are you planning to use that maybe?
Maybe, I don't know yet, because this would take a lot of time, because I thought about I could do some makeup tutorials for Patreon or general tutorials how I do cosplays and such, but it really would take a lot of time, so I'm not sure if I'm able to do this, yeah.
It takes a lot of time, but it's also a good way to
Yeah,
let the people who want to support you. Like if people want to do nudes, I'm not one of those people, but if they do, I will respect that.
Yeah.
But I would rather share my knowledge and my craft and let people who want to help me support this wonderful hobby, let them do that.
So Lily, what do you think about Patreon?
Yeah, I think I had to go with the girls. It's a great chance. I'm not on Patreon, but I'm considering it. But still, there is no concrete planning on that, because I'm a little bit worried about the fact that I don't want to take any content from the people who are already following me. So I got to create new content for the people on Patreon. I want to do good, which needs a lot of time actually. And I'm also, even though I'm sitting here in underwear, at least it feels like that, I'm not the one to go nude, so it is no option for me. No boudoir or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do that.
Yeah, and yeah, we talked about that. It's a lot of time spending on Patreon and YouTube videos, making all that stuff, and creating content. How do you do that? I mean, you have a real life, I guess. Maybe you have a job, I don't know. But it all takes time. So how do you manage your time schedule?
we don't.
Really don't.
Planning.
I don't know what planning is. I just do things.
It sucks, don't try it.
Okay, I won't.
Yeah, I'm still at university. I'm in my last semester.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I'm currently writing my bachelor thesis.
Yeah, I'm onto that.
So this semester is kind of chill, so I do have some time for cosplay, which I'm very happy about. But to be honest, I'm a little bit afraid how it will be in the future when I have a job. And for example, when I did my internship during my studies for 6 months, I had absolutely no time for cosplay. I got home at 7 or 8 o'clock, and I couldn't motivate myself to sit in front of the sewing machine and do something. I just wanted to sit in front of the TV and watch something. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm on my internship right now, so it ends in...
What are you doing?
Interior design. Yeah, 2 months to go. So yeah, and I can feel you, because you have only time on the weekend.
Yeah.
And after work, it's just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
don't do something and just watch TV, and you have a family too, so it's very difficult to create something new. And yeah, I'm afraid a little, because when you have a real job, so maybe your hobbies will suffer.
But according to my experience, since I finished studies, I'm done with university. Yeah, I got a degree. Yep, hooray. And I'm in a job. I'm working, and according to my experience, you get that strength if you have to. If you want to, you will. And at the very beginning, it was super hard for me to get used to having an 18-hour day. Which is super stressful, but you get used to it because it's if it's worth for you, then you go for it and you do it. And yeah, I don't want to say it's not hard from time to time, but it's definitely worth it. Yeah. I wouldn't want to have it any more way.
I know what you mean. You have to take the time to create what you want. So it's the same thing with everything. So if you want to go to the gym, you have to take some time and everything else. But it's not always that easy, I guess. So what about you?
Well, I'm one of the very lucky few who's right now at the moment cosplay is my main source of income next to photography.
Yay!
So all of my focus goes to cosplay. I'm still struggling with time somehow because I'm a huge procrastinator. Just don't do planning, but so cosplay is what I do right now alongside photography, so everything is cosplay.
Yeah, but I hope you will not get how do you say that? Sick of it?
Well, as long as I take breaks, because it's very easy to run out of energy if you do one thing for too long. You burn out basically, and I try not to. I take breaks. I hang out with friends. I live very close to the beach, so I just walk down and just sit on the rocks and scream a little.
I'm jealous.
So yeah, all is cosplay.
Okay, nice. So what would you say to beginners? What are your tips for a beginner in cosplay?
Just do it. Really.
That's Nike.
Really, just do it. It's like I don't even remember how we started it. I just started. You just have to start buying things, sit in front of a sewing machine. I was terrified of the sewing machine for so long. I hand sewed everything in the start because I had a sewing machine, but I was so afraid it was going to attack me or something, so I didn't use it. You just have to do the thing.
Yeah. Okay, because I always see questions in that Facebook groups about cosplay. They say, "Oh, please help me. How can I start?" And everybody says, "Just start." Yeah.
I'd say don't rush a costume because if there's a convention and you can't finish it in time, just try to finish it for the next convention because you won't be satisfied with your costume then. So that's what I did when I first started cosplay. I just rushed my costumes and I wasn't happy with it. And so I had to redo a lot of parts, and I was happier when I took more time for a cosplay. So I'm very slow at sewing and with everything, but I'm more happy with it in the end. And I'd say focus a lot on wigs and makeup because I didn't pay attention to it at first, and I looked. So the costume was nice, but my face was just. So makeup and wig do I'd say 60, maybe 70% of the cosplay. It makes such a huge difference if you really pay attention to it.
Yeah. How long did you work on your wig? I mean, it's really nice.
It took I don't know, like a week or something. These are actually 2 wigs combined. So
sewed them together.
Yeah, right, and made a ponytail and this thing. I don't know how you call it. This bubble.
Bun.
Yeah, this bun. Right.
I know that word because of man bun.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So wigs always take a lot of time.
Yeah. So, do you have an idol in cosplay?
Yes, it's
Who is it?
NG Knight.
I don't know her. Who's that?
She's she's like my cosplay crush. Whenever I see her, I'm like, oh, I'm such a big fan. Yeah.
So, and do you have a crush too?
Yes.
Who is it?
Alison Tabitha.
Oh yeah, she's brilliant.
Yeah,
I love her. I would have her babies.
What about you, Lily?
Ooh, that's hard. It's really hard. I think... Okay, but I gotta go explain that. I think I gotta go with Jessica Nigri. But the reason why is not what she's
Yeah, I
doing,
love
but
her.
how she does it and the person she is, because I was lucky enough to meet her twice.
She was here last year. So I met
Exactly,
her
she was
too.
here
Yeah.
last year, and I met her again at the Gamescom, a Blizzard after-show
yeah.
party, and she is an amazing person. She got a strength that is beyond insane, and I mean, she's incredibly successful, but she also have to focus on the fact that as much fans and followers she has
She has
as
a
much
lot of
haters.
Yeah, I know.
And she has to deal with that each and every fucking single day.
Yeah.
And she's doing perfect, because when she comes to a convention, she's happy. She has time for you. She's interested in you. She recognizes you if she met you before. And you can, not for a single second, you feel the fact that she's dealing with all that crazy crap.
Yeah.
And so she is just a wonderful person, admirable, and I would love to be just a third that good one day.
And she is so funny.
Yeah.
I enjoyed her panel last year. It was over there because the Cosplay Kingdom was over there
I've
last
seen
year,
that.
and it was so nice to meet her and yeah, to listen to her and her stories, and with her boyfriend. And I follow her on Instagram and on Facebook, and her videos, they are so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for Mail Monday.
Yes.
Have you both met your cosplay crush yet? So.
No, but I will.
Yeah, is that on your plan?
Well, I'm going to America
Yeah.
in a couple of months, and I'm going to Orlando, and I'm talked to her because we're Facebook friends.
Ooh.
I know it's Jordan. I'm so proud. So hopefully we'll meet. Hopefully.
You will stand next to her like fangirling?
I'll be crying. Probably.
I love you so much. Yeah, I
Chill.
had that too because I'm a huge fan of Lightning cosplay.
Yeah.
I like her work very much, and when I met her, I was like, "Can you come to my podcast?" And she was, "Yeah, we could do that." I was okay, but yeah, I wrote her an email and I have no response yet. So, and more
You're
cosplay, of
seeing this
course.
Answer.
I hope she will see that, and more cosplay as well. And Maya Felicitas, they're doing
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
crazy.
Yeah, and I met the mall cosplay on a roleplay convention in Cologne a month ago, and as well I was like, hi. Yeah, that was like, yeah,
In the
awkward.
In the end, we're just all awkward fangirls.
Yeah, I know.
That's why we're cosplayers. We're nerds.
Yeah,
Well, I'm a 5.
as you said
I'm
in
a
the
10.
beginning. So, do you have any questions for us, maybe? Fragen. Here. Yeah, your name, your cosplay names.
My real name is Eileen, and my nickname is Lee. Everyone calls me Lee, and I was like, I need to find a word with Lee in it. Oh, lychee, okay. So that's pretty much it.
What about you?
It's a actually it's a pretty personal story, because a lot of people tend to think that Lily Fortune comes from Miss Fortune from League of Legends, but that's an error. That's just not true. The thing is that, you know, the reason why I have been doing cosplay in those bigger situations during the last few years is like I'm kind of doing it tributing to my mom, who brought me there, because she passed away
Oh, I'm so
2
sorry.
years ago. She was suffering from cancer, and I really want to do something that makes her stay here with me. Okay, this is hard.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's ridiculous sitting here being badass superhero and. Whew. Sorry, guys.
Still badass. Still badass.
Yeah, I cut the short, and my mom was not supposed to have kids from medical circumstances, but as you can see, she had one, and she was super happy because she always wanted to have a daughter, and so she was blessed by having a daughter. And when she used to tell me that story about she was not supposed to have kids, and then she told me, you're my little fortune because you're the child that shouldn't have been born. And this is the reason why I decided to be a Lily Fortune for her forever.
You make us cry.
I'm sorry.
But it's such a sweet story. Starbit, please cheer us up now.
Say something funny.
Yeah, come on.
That's what you're here for.
Cheer us up.
It's true, it's true. I'm the comedic relief. I just really liked stars.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of stars. So I was like, Starbit cosplay, that sounds cool. Here I am.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I have his cosplay name, but it's not a real cosplay name. It's Forever Nerd Girl, because I will be a nerd girl forever. So, wow, yeah, totally. Yeah, that's my name on Facebook. Maybe you can check it out. Yeah, but I think cosplay names often are the first cosplay you're doing. That's your cosplay name, often. So, another question. Sorry, we didn't get that. Maybe.
What do you think about the cosplay scene in Germany?
I actually like it. I hear that there's some hate from time to time, but I never hear of, or I don't hear from a lot of drama because I hate drama and I try not to get involved to it, so I'm just like always, la, 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 everything's fine. And I think if you have this Einstellung, if you have this Einstellung, sorry, then you can actually enjoy the whole community more than if you're like, no, I don't like this, I don't like this. So if you're just open to everyone and enjoy it, then it's, I like the scene. I like the community.
That's a good Einstellung.
Yeah, I am very, what's it say? Einstellung in
Attitude.
attitude.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, what do you think about German cosplay scene? You see it from outside now?
Yeah, I think it's very nice. Everyone, like, I've only been sitting at my booth mostly. I haven't been able to move around, hopefully today, but everyone seems very lovely and nice. And even on all my social media, I have a lot of German followers, and they all seem very, very happy and nice all the time. So I only have the best view of it, but I'm like her. I don't like drama. I don't do drama, so
Me neither.
I run away.
Yeah. What do you think?
Same. Yeah, I also like the German cosplay scene, and I like the fact that the community is like a big family, because you get to know all those guys pretty fast, and you get a real close connection to each other. Some more, some less, but you actually get an amazing connection to those people. This is also something that I'm extremely thankful for, because I got to meet the most amazing people in that time I wouldn't want to miss in my life. And yeah, I think there is some hate, but according to my feeling, it's getting less with the hate.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah,
It was worse some years ago, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
we're all grown-ups now.
Exactly, and I think
we're getting older, we're getting cosplay grandma.
the whole scene, the whole community is getting more and more open-minded. So it's not like, okay, who's that? She's new. I think I don't like her. And this is where the rumor starts to spread. I had that same experience, unfortunately, but it was not that bad. It was just a little bit. But you know, some of those comments can really hurt. Like, why the hell is she invited for a convention? She's only invited because she got big boobs. And this is something I can't deal with, because I'm okay if you're like, I don't like you, and I'm okay, I can deal with that. And I'm okay if you give me some critics. That's also because I'm thankful for critics, because I can work with it, but I cannot work on this. I'm sorry. They're just here, right in that area. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, you grow on it. I have to say I'm sort of thankful for the people who hated me and flamed me, because they made me harder and they made me stronger.
I think we have a very positive community, but it's here and there. There's some hate and there's body shaming. A lot of people are asking, can I wear that? Am I too tall? Am I too thick? Am I too whatever? And the same answers again and again. Wear what you want.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, maybe I wouldn't wear a bodysuit because I wouldn't feel very good in it.
If you don't feel good in it, then you
Yeah, right.
shouldn't. But
But-
if you feel good in
But
it,
if
then
you feel
just
great
do
in
it.
a Sailor Moon costume, you can wear that. But yeah, if you're, I don't know, 200 pounds, I don't know, maybe you could think about it, that you find
Wear
a costume
whatever you want.
that suits you better. But I guess the main part is you have to feel great.
Yeah.
That's the main part.
It's all about you. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what anyone else thinks. It's all about you. If you weigh 200 pounds and you want to be Sailor Moon, freaking do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's really because it's all cosplay is all about yourself and having fun with yourself. It's all that matters.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Nothing.
Any more question? Yeah, here's one. Wait, you get a microphone so we can hear you.
About body shaming, do you sometimes go to the gym just for a cosplay?
I'm the laziest person you will ever meet. I take 3 naps a day. I try to take some nature walks because I hate exercising. It's the worst thing in the world. But I try to just keep in shape. Do I do it for cosplay? Maybe a little bit, but that's mostly because I want the energy to keep up with the cosplay.
Yeah, and it's about health, right?
Yeah, it's about health. And yeah, sometimes when watching Wonder Woman, for example, I didn't want to work out because I want to be that strong and I want to be that cool. So I wouldn't work out just to get the hot cosplay body. I wouldn't do that, no. I don't think it's necessary.
What about you? I don't know.
The problem is that I really love food, especially chips. I live for chips, actually. I also, in our minibar, there were chips, and I tried not to eat them, but I did this night. So,
This night? Like last night?
yeah, last night. You too? Yeah. I also took a video of me where I'm in front of the minibar, like, the chips love story, and yeah, finally I ate it. So I gained a few pounds in the last month, and I'm trying to go to the gym now, and I really hate it. I look so pissed when I'm at the gym. I just hate it so much. But I try to force myself to go to the gym like 2 times a week. Just yeah.
Yeah, well, I have training every Monday, so I have to go because my trainer will be furious if I don't go to training. So, but I go to the gym as well, but not as much as I have to. So, what about you?
Well, I'm also an extremely lazy person, but I go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, not because I want to have a cosplay body. It's not for cosplay. I'm sorry.
How do you do understand?
My coach was here yesterday. He's also a cosplayer. If you
Okay.
would have seen him, you know why.
Okay.
I'm way too afraid to say no, I'm not coming today.
Yeah,
he's a-
my trainer, she could work at the military station.
He is a passionate bodybuilder. He was here as Spain yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm just way too afraid to go like, I'm sorry, Matthias, I'm not coming today. Because I tried that once, and it was on a WhatsApp message, and then he responded with me with 3 dots. And I was like, okay, I'll be there at 8. So yeah, I go to the gym, but because I like the workout and I want to stay fit and I want to stay healthy in the first place, because health is something that you can pay with money.
That's right.
And this is the reason why I do my workout, but it's not to look good in the costumes. or to have the perfect cosplay body, as you said. No, sorry.
Okay, thank you. So one last question.
Well, I would like to ask about your bachelor. It sounds pretty...
No.
I'm just curious.
My bachelor, what my bachelor's thesis is about, I'm writing about character design, how different shapes like circles, squares, triangles, if you create a character that's more round or like more triangle shaped, how these shapes affect the viewer. So do they like the character more, or do they is the character more likable, or do they think the character is older or younger if they have specific shapes? So that's what my thesis is about.
Okay, thank you. And sorry for the question.
You could also do the survey, every one of you. It's still online.
Okay, I think we have time for one last question, maybe? There.
Who was your inspiration for cosplays? Your greatest inspiration?
When I started, I didn't have an inspiration, to be honest.
Same.
It was 11 years ago, and I didn't do any cosplayer. It was I didn't know about cosplay at all, so I just started. But now I think it's the person we all of us mentioned, like Jessica Negri, Alison,
Alison,
and NG, for example. Right now, I think that NG motivates me a lot to work on my cosplays.
Yeah, okay. So, thank you so much for participating in our roundtable, and
Thank you for having us.
I hope you had some fun. I hope you guys had fun too, so yay! Thank you.